Don't be fooled. Nobody cares about you in this country. In South Africa, nobody cares. And they ask because they're polite, but they don't mean it. How are you, Ebenhaezer? I'm not okay, dude. I'm sad. I got bouts of depression. Things are bad. My career's going nowhere. COVID hit. Had to take up bartending. Sometimes I want to kill myself. They'll be like, oh. Otherwise, other than death, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm fine. I apologize. Now, the most amazing part of our first act show is when it ends. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Rob van Vuuren.
Hi. Okay, so this is a true story. Every single word in the story is completely true. It is the story of how Corne and Twaki got booked for their first ever corporate function. Corne and Twaki is basically like these ridiculous white trash clowns with big fake moustaches that me and my good buddy Lo Fenta created back in the year 2000. Okay, the two of us met on the set of this like weird ass B-grade action movie where we got to do a lot of like really cool action shit, like running on top of burning trains and climbing up sheer rock faces on Table Mountain and riding go-karts through the streets of Cape Town, and all of this being directed by this mad Dutch director whose most coherent piece of direction throughout the whole project was when he said, "What the fuck was that, guys?" Now, during this time, Lo was constantly speaking in this ridiculous accent of this character he'd created called Corne between takes, and I thought it was hilarious. I couldn't help like imitating him. And eventually, we decided, well, shit, we have to make this into a comedic duo. So he comes over to my house, and we're sitting there. The conversation goes something like this. I'm like, okay, so if your character's called Corne, then my character must be called something like, and he's like, Twaki. And I'm like, yes, exactly, Twaki. And they do this really terrible show, but they think it's like the most amazing show. And he's like, yes, and that's what it's called. It's called the most amazing show. And then we literally started writing and performing, but like a brand new hour-long show every weekend for a year. It was just like this mad, crazy outpouring of the most surreal and irreverent content. The characters became like this wild, real-life manifestation of our darkest subconscious desires and thoughts. And somewhere towards the end of that first giddy year of seeing exactly how far we could push the envelope with these crazy characters, we were hired to do an IT function, an end-of-year function for an IT company at the Cape Town Yacht Club. And we were like, oh my God, we've arrived. We're finally going to make like proper money out of this thing, out of this weird subversive idea. We've made it. So the day of the function arrives, and so do we, albeit a bit late, inside of like my Ford Bantam Bakkie at the Cape Town Yacht Club. We hurriedly started getting dressed as Corne and Twaki. But now, getting dressed as Corne and Twaki entails like a mad, frantic scramble. It's like a lot of like polyester and tight pants and fake snores, and it basically involves turning yourself into some sort of perverse white trash disco fugitive on tick.
Amazing!
I am also brandishing a slightly bloodied cultural weapon, like aptly titled the Moerstick of Joy, and Corne has like a 3-foot fake penis straining through his like white polyester suit pant. So imagine, if you will, instead of Superman appearing from a telephone booth, what you rather get is Corne and Twaki appearing from a Ford Bantam, like some sort of retro Afrikaans Viagra nightmare. Okay, so there we are, me whirling Twaki's Moerstick joyfully, and Corne readjusting his massive fake peel as we burst into the Cape Town Yacht Club and start working the room. Right? But now, working the room with Corne and Twaki means the kind of sexually inappropriate behavior that would keep any self-respecting HR department busy for months. Basically, we like literally thrust our crotches into the faces of innocent bystanders. We're doing handstands in their laps, anything we can think of that could potentially get us arrested. So we split up and we do this for a while at no extra cost to the company. We always imagine how thrilling and deeply confusing and terrifying it must have been for unsuspecting members of the public to watch as these deranged lunatics start spreading the love. So anyway, there we are, working the room in our own inimitable way. And at one point, I noticed this woman in the corner that I recognize from somewhere. And so I sidle over to her and I'm like, hey, lady. Hey, sexy, foxy dolphin lady. Stop it! Stop it! Go for it. Do it longer. Do it more. How the flippin' hell are you? And she's like, I'm fine, thanks. How are you? I'm flippin' amazing, lady. I mean, Look at me. Amazing. Woohoo. So, sweet chicks, what are you doing here? She's like, oh, I knew him. What are you doing here? Like, we're the entertainment, lady. We are here to entertain you. So she looks slightly puzzled for a moment before saying, at a funeral. I'm sorry, what? Why are you entertaining people at a funeral? I turned my head, in slow motion toward a wild and panicked screaming that I only later realized was coming from inside my own head. And as I'm turning, I noticed for the very first time the many wreaths and weeping people and get well soon cards scratched out. And my eyes settle on a sight that is forever etched onto my broken mind. And standing in the center of what was now very clearly a funeral was Corneille, played by my dear friend Lo Fenter, with a giant 3-foot fake penis in his pants, and sandwiched between his rather meaty hands is the bald head of a Catholic priest. I mean, this man was in a dress and had a burning handbag. That's how Catholic he was. And there is Corneille with this holy man's bald head in his hands, and he's playing it like a turntable. Wiki, wiki, wiki! Wiki, wiki, wiki! And occasionally licking it. So I walk over as nonchalantly as someone who is dressed as a sex offender can when he's just realized he's been plying his trade at a funeral by mistake, and I start tugging on Corneille's sleeve. I'm like, guy, stop it, guy, listen, please, can I speak to you for a moment, guy? No, you can't, Twaki. I'm speaking to Father Christmas over here. I've been a naughty boy, Father. Wiki. Say hello to Father Christmas, Twaki. Forgive us, Father, for we are sinning a lot right now. Guy, please, I need to speak to you in private for just a moment, please, guy. Okay, fine, Twaki, shut. Okay, Father, I'll see you later. Wrap it up for me. I'll open it. Stop it. What is it, Twaki? We're at the funeral, guy. What? We're at the funeral, guy. What? We're at a fucking funeral, dude. Oh. Turns out the IT function is upstairs. We scamper out of that sad and bewildered room and run up the stairs with a sense of shame I have hitherto not experienced. And we rush into the IT function and make what in retrospect must have been the lamest excuse for being late ever. I'm sorry we were late. We were at the funeral by mistake. And then we start performing for the IT function, and that's when things really started to get depressing. It was a chilling and quite appropriate introduction to corporate functions, if you ask me, because these people seemed more depressed than the people at the funeral. I mean, at the funeral, there was only one dead dude. In this room, it was everyone was dead. Eventually, and this is true, we said, "You guys are cuck! We're going back to the funeral!" And we did, and that party was wild. At one point, I think we even resurrected the dead guy. And you know what I think I learned from that experience is the power of comedy. How it has no bounds. It transcends all experiences. I mean, you can literally do it anywhere. Except at a funeral. Don't do it at a funeral. I'm Ruff and Vuuren. Thank you very much.
Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. We won't be doing any Oscar Pistorius jokes. We know that they're tacky, they're outdated, and most of all, we simply can't stand them. Because this next act names themselves this way because they know that there are people in this country that simply don't see color. So please, give it up for the amazing, the very talented, the Black Wendy.
Are you tired of wasting your money on a million products? Are you tired of having a cabinet overflowing with detergents? Are you tired of itchy skin and bloated bellies? Do you go to bed at night and wake up in the morning? Well, this is the product for you. Selokhu ngaqala ukusebenzisa lensipho. Impilo yami ayisoze yafana wemntakama. Lensipho njengoba uyibona inde kangaka. Ngiyisebenzisa kwama-tiles. Ngiyisebenzisa nje kwama-windy wami la endlini yami. Ngiyisebenzise kwi-washing. Lalela-ke, ukulibona i-shirt uma ngabe uthenga. limhlophe qwa kuphele nje izinsuku ezimbalwa seli-cream white ngalensi ipho lena mntakama ufaka ishethi nje phakathi kubhavu uliwashe liphume limhlophe qwa lalela January February March April uyayisika nje lokhu isikile April May nakho konke lokho okulandelayo ngento nje eyodwa mntakama. Well, there you have it, straight from the horse's mouth. Hi. There's no horse in this house. Oh, no. It's just a figure of speech. I don't. Okay. Get the multi-purpose, all-purpose green bar. Yonke insiphi iyawasha, kodwa le unqo. Order yours today and you could win these amazing accessories that pair really well with our product.
One of the things that can contribute to your depression is the environment you find yourself in. I'm from a very dangerous neighborhood. I was inside a building one Sunday afternoon, and a guy came to me, he's like, take your money out! You take your money out now! Take it out! I'm like, whoa, Pastor Andrew, that is not how you take tithes. Some pastors are wild. And with more on the subject, please welcome our next headliner, KG Mokgadi.
This is not weird anymore. I'm enjoying it. I'm disappointed. I really am. I'm disappointed in South African preachers. I really am. 7 months into COVID-19, nobody has come out with a miracle cure for this thing. This is very disappointing. Like, South African preachers have raised people from the dead. The least they could have done is come up with some anointed COVID cure. Because my favorite guy was the dude that was spraying his congregation with doom. That's my favorite guy. That guy hurt me, all right? He hurt me because I woke up and I realized this brah was spraying his own congregation with doom. Not like a fake congregation, not somebody else. No, his own people. I woke up, I should be honest, and I was hurt. Because I realized that as a people, black people, we are hungry, we are poor, we're vulnerable. Anybody can take advantage of us. That's my first thought. My second thought was, but guys, it's fucking doom. It says that on the can, fucking doom. Like, I grew up in the church. I understand that the Lord works in mysterious ways, but that's fucking doom. The company that makes doom was fined 95 million rands for bread price fixing a couple of years ago. If you fix the price of bread, you're a but even the put out a statement on the day that read, guys, that's fucking doom. Like, the only person I feel sorry for in that whole story is the guy that was at the front of the queue. Because if you're at the front of the queue, you don't know that there's gonna be fucking doom. You are just as surprised as the rest of us reading the story. Do you understand? Like, you were in church. You're probably sick. You're limping. Right? Your preacher is killing it in the church. He's having the sermon of his life because he knows that there will be doom. You have got fuck all clue. At some point, he says something like, if you want to receive the mercy of the Lord, come to the front. Now, had you known that the mercy of the Lord comes in a can of fucking doom, you would have just sat there and watched everyone and laughed. But you had no idea. The piano lady started playing Baba Begite ba, la. Guys, I don't care how heartless you are. You hear that song in the right setting, you are standing up and you are limping to the front of the church. You hear, Kue Baba doesn't give a fuck who you are. Kue. You start crying in that fuck. You want the mercy of the. You limp to the. You're not even the only one, okay? There's a guy in a wheelchair feeling exactly what you're feeling, just rolling this Kue. Hey, ba, ba. All you want is the mercy of the Lord. Listen, you don't know that there's gonna be doom. Had you known, you would have turned in the middle of that kak and go, hey, but you didn't know. Your life is fucked up. Your leg doesn't work. You wanna put your trust in the Lord. You fucking limp to the front of the church. You don't know that there's doom. You only see the doom when you get to the front of the church. This is where it messes with you. For all Africans, I don't care if you're black or white, you've been in a house that has got at least one cockroach. You see your pastor with doom, you don't panic. Right? You don't panic. You are thinking to yourself, "Ay man, there must be a cockroach in the church." You are not thinking that you are the cockroach. You're watching here. You've got a cockroach problem in your house. You know, I'm talking to you. You've got a bad cockroach problem to a point where you've got two doom sprays, one in the kitchen, one in the dining room. You know that cockroach that arrives when you've got guests and starts greeting everybody before you dish up the food. That one. You see doom in your church, you're not panicking. You start singing, "Go we he ba ba." You're looking for this cockroach. Me he te ba la. Go we. Meanwhile, the actual cockroach in the church is standing right there, looking at you, going, "Look at this stupid fuck. He's gonna get sprayed." It's going, "Hey, bruh, go. He's gonna spray you. I know this look." You don't give a fuck. Go we he ba ba. And then your preacher starts praying. Because it says on the can, shake well before you spray. He starts shaking this cock like that. As he's shaking, you are asking yourself what is easily the dumbest question in South Africa at that moment. Is he gonna spray me? You're like, nah, he wouldn't. Because that's fucking doom. That's like, you go back, go we he ba ba. And then he says, "Dear Lord, please bless this anointed doom, so that if I spray it to the children, they might get healed." You start going, fuck. He's gonna spray. You look at your friend, the piano lady. "Piano lady, what the hell? We are comrades. Come on, you should have told me something." And she says, "I didn't know. It's too late now. You're gonna have to take it in the face. You're fucked. You're gonna have to take it in the face. You have no choice." At that point, he is praying. See, I understand. That can happen. If you're number one in the queue, that can and it will happen. But if you're number two, what is your excuse? Like if you're number two, you had all the opportunity in the world to start rolling back the wheelchair and going, "Fuck it, I'm saved. I'm healed. I'm healed. The droplets from his face landed on my shoes and I'm healed. I don't want to walk right now, but I can promise you I'm healed." Ladies and gentlemen, I'm KG. Thank you very much for your time. Bye.
I want to say happy belated Women's Month to all the ladies, all the women, everybody who resonates as a woman. Happy belated Women's Month to you. We're not able to perform to you during the month of August. And so please, I must express how much gratitude I have for your beings. But that shit is over now. Oh, yeah. We are back, gents. We are back. Happy Men's Month to you. Yes, yes, 11 months of unbridled, unchecked patriarchy. Oh. I'm sad, okay? I'm sad. I try to cover up with bravado and sexual innuendo, but I'm sad. Because I found out 2 days ago that my dad died. He dyed his hair blonde, and I'm not dealing with it well. Like, why are you doing this? Why? It's not even like dye, it was peroxide. He burnt his hair. Whenever my friends are over, he's like, oh, what's up, cool cats? What's crackalacking in the hizzy? Like, it's not a life I want to live. Of course, I'm joking. No, man, 20 years ago, 20 years and 2 months to this day, my dad woke up one morning and he left. He packed his suitcase, got into his suit, got into his car and he drove off. You know, and I was walking back from the bathroom and I remember running to my bedroom window, hoping that he would at least wave. He didn't wave. He drove off. You know. He came back after work, of course, because he's a working man, but I missed him. Like, I was his favorite kid. You say bye, you kiss me on the forehead every day. Why are you changing the game, son? You know? No, he has a good dad. Not all black dads, you my jeez. Oh, jeez, man. My dad was actually too good. You know what I mean? Too good. Like, my only qualm with my dad is that I can't even be a rapper. How am I gonna be a rapper with such a great upbringing? What am I gonna rap about? Oh, my dad came home every night, help me with my homework, motherfucker. Yeah, my mistakes are my own fault. Just doesn't slap the same. Whew. I do believe that's my shift. Goodbye. Carlo, don't forget to switch off the fridges.